So why is it, do you think, that alcohol and cigarettes are the two legal drugs, and psilocybin and I don't know, weed? I mean, I can see why cocaine and heroin are outlawed, but we both read Chasing the Scream, which explains why they shouldn't be outlawed. Simply because people are going to be addicted to them anyway. Take them. People who want them should be able to have them in a safe clinical setting,
and then help to get
off them, instead of the illegal means they get them, which is like with lots of added chemicals and crap that makes them actually feel really worse than just the neat drug. But why is it, do you think, that the society has chosen alcohol as the drug of choice?
Because a lot of people are making a lot of money out of it. I mean, the same.
Did you not think we can make money out of the magic truffle business?
Well, for one thing, to make nature against the law, as Bill Hicks has said, is like paranoid and insane, isn't it? Something that grows naturally on the face of the earth, and in my experience of psilocybin, there's nothing but good for you. You know, one person might, think that they can fly and jump off a tall building, but I think the deaths from psilocybin,
I think that they're greatly exaggerated.
It's about one, I should think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no. It's cognitive dissonance, isn't it? When alcohol is destroying communities, destroying families, destroying everything, and few people basically eating a mushroom and then laughing as the walls move in and out for about 5 minutes, and just having a sort of very profound spiritual experience is what I've done every time I've had mushrooms. Why that is, I mean, the truffles aren't illegal, but the actual mushrooms are. I mean, that's just absurd in itself.
Well, the truffles are illegal in the UK, aren't they? No,
I think
unless you buy them online.
No, I think the actual truffles are legal in European countries. It's the actual mushroom, so it's the sclerotia
Why is it that one part of the mushroom is illegal?
The part that grows underground is the truffle, which is legal, and the part that pops up out of the earth is illegal. It makes no sense. It's a nonsense.
But I read The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley, and he asks that question: why is it that a drug that inebriates you and you don't have anything profound come out of it, and it just makes you feel, you get hangovers.
Well, look at the cost.
Why is that the drug of choice?
Well, because the government makes, I don't know what percentage, every time you buy a £7 pint, I don't know how much the government gets, £5. A pint of beer costs probably about 10p to make into the profit.
So the profit
and look at the cost of the alcohol. The cost to the taxpayer is enormous. I don't know what is billions of pounds to the NHS, alcohol-related diseases, the violence, what the police have to do. And then, of course, we've got the decriminalisation of if we decriminalised heroin, for example, or Class A drugs, the authorities can be completely in control of the supply, and it wouldn't have to go to criminal gangs. Most burglaries are from people who are trying to fuel their drug habits. You've got prostitution, it's women who are got on drugs in order to have to sort of pay back their pimps. Everything is, if you decriminalised it, you could get hold of the problem. To me, it just seems like it's as obvious as having assisted dying. Or
well, what I was going to say about Doors of Perception, that's a good point about the monetary thing, but mescaline was what Huxley takes, and he explains that the reason potentially why it's not legal is that it's a very long experience, so it kind of like you have it once and that's it, so it's not very profitable, and also it's kind of like it kind of is life changing. It's in the 60s when people were taking psilocybin and mescaline and LSD and didn't want to fight in Vietnam. The reason was a lot of it was because of the drugs and the Eastern philosophy and the ways of thinking.
Nixon came very hard down on LSD and psilocybin because he thought people weren't going to go and fight in his war.
Research in psilocybin and LSD was shut down because of because the citizens weren't complying with what the government wanted.
When you take a drug that makes you feel that you're at one with the universe and at one with other human beings and at one with all the plants and the rocks and the stars, the last thing you want to do is get on an airplane, go over to Vietnam and shoot a load of farmers.
Because that requires a sense of otherness, of a sense of me, us, and them.
Yeah,
but,
and
but psilocybin breaks all of those
yes, and
barriers.
you have to be a conformist. You have to like rules. You have to want to be told what to do in order to do that. And these are the positive aspects of drugs. They can open you up to realizing you don't have to do what your government tells you. You don't have to do what anybody tells you. Your first responsibility is your responsibility with existence, with universe, with nature, and with your neighbors, and not with people who are governing you and basically want to manipulate you and get you to fight in illegal wars. So yeah.
And also there's a similarity between mescaline, LSD, psilocybin, and alcohol in the sense of connection, but there's a different kind of connection, because with alcohol the connection it's not a deep connection. It's a kind of a superficial, like we're all just a bit inebriated and we're all just saying whatever, and we feel like we can say anything because we've lost that barrier.
And nobody's really listening to anybody else.
Yeah.
There's no genuine listening.
But it's not a profound connection that you get with psilocybin, where you feel not only connected with humans but just with existence, the universe.
And like you said, you've done it once, and you'd probably never do it again. So where's the profit share in that? No one's going to be making any money out of it. You don't need to do it more than once. I've done it a few times, but I probably won't ever do it again.
Well, I think I'll do it. I might do it when I'm 25, because if I'd known that it wasn't when my brain was.
God, imagine looking forward to being 25, and I look back, I can't even remember it. But yeah, I mean, it's. So
I mean, Huxley says, why can't the pharmaceutical industry, the drug industry, manufacture a drug like mescaline or psilocybin or LSD that's a short lifespan? So you take it and you have a really amazing experience for like an hour, and then you come out of it, you're just back to your work.
Yeah, well, look at cannabis and psilocybin in the medical industry. They've both been proven to have nothing but good.
So much coming out now.
They are plants.
PTSD, depression, OCD.
Indeed,
helping.
Taken in the right way and with supervision, these things are saving lives. They're totally beneficial. Alcohol really can't make any such claims.
I don't recommend the book How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan, also a Netflix series.
Yes,
going into all the research that's been done on psilocybin for depression and PTSD.
That's excellent, and it's an excellent watch.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, with alcohol, you come out of it with a hangover, regretting what you've said.
You feel anxious. You wake up going, "Oh, what did I say? I must have upset."
Paranoid.
And you go, well, I hope that person was drunk enough that they didn't remember what I said, because I can't remember what I said. But when I was your age, I used to be phoning people up the next day, go, what happened last night? I all right? Did I piss you off? And you get paranoid, your anxiety levels. That's the strange thing, is you might be feeling anxious, so you think, well, I'll drink, but the anxiety levels, I can't remember, it's to do with the GABA, all the different chemicals in your brain that get flipped around. So the anxiety that you lose through having a drink rebounds on you fivefold the next day, and that's what what they call it, hangxiety, I think is the term, when you've got hangover anxiety. I think
that's a red flag to me. If a drug continues to affect your life after you've taken it, then surely that's not great. Like, you should be able to have an isolated experience. And once I'd taken the truffles, I was back to normal. But I could just like meditate and think about the experience. But it wasn't like still affecting me in a negative way at all. It was a isolated experience, which is what you want. You want your trip to have a beginning and an end.
Yeah, and it had a profound positive effect.
A profound positive effect. But with alcohol, it's you have a negative aftermath, and then you do it again, and it's a vicious negative cycle of being inebriated and then feeling anxious.
I'm glad you're realizing that without ever having to go through it yourself. Probably you've seen me go through it and go, what are you doing today, Dad? And I go, it's a hangover day, so nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. And then you go, well, that is a waste of a day. I don't mind hangovers that much. I actually find, as a writer, that the depression that I sometimes feel when I'm hungover, I actually channel it into a creative sense, but that's probably a cop-out.